Everything About Scooters by Joseph Laws. Let's talk about parts so you're familiar about what we're talking about. Now let's talk about the deck. This scooter deck is what I call a street deck. A street deck has boxed ends so that the scooter deck does not collapse over time because of the metal scraping on the sidewalk or rail and bending. That is why my deck, which is a park deck, has bent up over time because of me grinding on rails and other obstacles. Now let's talk about bars. Bars are an important part of the scooter. They are what you hold onto and steer with during tricks. There are two different types of handlebars. There are Y bars and there are T bars. And there can be many different styles of these, but those are the two main categories. Now let's talk about the scooter fork. The scooter fork is another very important part of the scooter. It is what the bars connect to, and then that connects to the wheels. The fork is the part of the scooter that takes the most amount of stress. It is also the part that connects the bars to the wheels. The reason it takes the most amount of stress is because it is right under the bars and is right around the weak point of the deck. Wheels are the part of the scooter that you roll on, and they are also very important for taking stress from big landings. These wheels are made out of metal, and they have a nice outer rim, which is made out of a material called urethane. Urethane helps the wheel spin faster and go smoother on hard surfaces and ground. This is a good trick scooter using all the parts that we have talked about. This is not a good trick scooter because they use the deck as the head tube. Now let's talk about the history of scooters. This scooter is a perfect example of what old scooters looked like, with 2x4 pieces of wood, some sort of handlebar configuration, and roller skate wheels. This was the first scooter to ever be sold to the public, also known as the Skippy Racer. It cost $4.99 in 1930, and it was meant for kids to feel better during the Great Depression. Another big scooter in the history of scooters was the Honda Kick and Go scooter. The Honda Kick and Go scooter played a big role in trick scooters today. It was the first scooter to have the first modern scooter fork. The first models of Kick and Go's had a lean to turn system, but the later ones had the first modern scooter fork. Here's an awesome 70s commercial for the Honda Kick and Go.
Real kick from Honda, the Kick and Go.
Just kick and go, lean and turn, squeeze and stop all around the block on the Honda Kick and Go. Easy, quiet and fun for you. Fun and easy riding, Honda Kick and Go.
The Kick and Go from Honda, available at your Honda motorcycle dealers.
Now we're taking the big leap to talk about the fold-up scooter. The fold-up scooter was the first, I guess you could say, modern trick scooter that people started to do tricks on, but it had one big problem. Everything was adjustable and it would fold. So, some people would deck theirs out as like the one on the right. They give it better bars that didn't adjust, and they put a bolt through the fork, and they give it the very first model threadless fork that was made by a man named Andrew Broussard, who is the owner of Proto Scooters. Here is a video of young professional scooter rider Dakota Schutz riding his Razor scooter back in 2007. These are great examples of scooters that we use now. Now let's talk about how scooter riding can be a job. This is professional scooter rider Raymond Warner, who rides every day as a job. He also posts YouTube videos, which also makes him money, and he is sponsored by Envy Scooters. This is professional scooter rider John Reyes, who lives in New York City and who likes to ride flat, which is riding scooter without any obstacles, just on flat ground. He is also sponsored by Envy Scooters and makes YouTube videos. This is another professional scooter rider, and his name is Claudius Vertesi. He lives in the UK and rides professionally and makes YouTube videos as a job. This is professional scooter rider and BMX rider Ryan Williams, who lives in Australia. He is also one of the group members of Nitro Circus, a circus that uses dirt bikes, scooters, and beyond. This is another professional scooter rider and good friend of Raymond Warner, Wazza, who lives in Australia and rides professionally and makes YouTube videos for a living. This is pro scooter rider and YouTube influencer Tanner Fox, who rides professionally but does not only make videos of him riding scooters, but other things that he is passionate about. This is pro scooter rider and friend of Raymond Warner, Steven Garlotta. He lives in Marietta, California, and rides professionally. He also has a YouTube channel. Now here's some footage of me doing some scooter tricks that I know how to do. This trick here is called a fakie. The reason why it looks like I'm hopping up and down on the back part of the scooter is because that's what I'm doing in order to keep it from looping out. This next trick is a grind on this ledge where my friend's parents normally park. That's a 360. And this trick is a tail whip, where you whip the tail under your feet and then you put your feet back down on it and land it. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Wear a helmet!